Greetings, fellow YouTubers. This is Hunt IonX, and today we're doing a video review on the high-grade Gundam OO O Gundam. Taking a close look at the overall design, this thing is an extremely nice, very clean mobile suit. Just very slick, clear panel design all the way through and around. Very defined and bright colors. It's the RX-782, but in the world of Gundam OO, you know? That's kind of the whole idea of the O Gundam's design, but you will notice a lot of key little details in there that are kind of interesting, such as the white V's, kind of like shaped fin things on the top of his shoulders. It's a very unique, like, just design to have these extra V fins come up off the chest, as well as having the red inserts, which you do have to panel line, as that is accurate to the design according to the painted model on the box, so it is something to be mindful of. Besides that, it's got a pretty good range of just like basic panel lining throughout the body. You can see some here on the top of the head, all the way through the back, the GN drive. These sections are not stickers, you would have to paint these in yourself on those black parts, and then panel lining right here on the back of the leg. It's pretty simple panel lining all the way through, but you know, enough there to give it a very clean notice. And when you is panel lined, it does add that little extra spice of detail to make the machine overall just kind of pop a little bit more than it normally would. So now taking a look at the mobile suit's articulation before we move on to its accessories, you got your typical Gundam ball joint head, where it is a ball socket in the neck and then a ball socket at the base of the body. Gives you a lot of range. Look down and up, really good. Right here at the shoulder, it is a ball joint with a butterfly joint that does come out about that far, and of course, being a ball joint, rock it around. Hinge joint inside the arm with a bicep swivel, kind of a double jointed elbow bend. Like, this top elbow doesn't get a lot of movement, but this lower one does, so you're primarily working with it, as well as the wrist, which is on a ball joint, can swivel around, do stuff like that. These hand panels fall off, so I would recommend doing that. Also, yeah, another thing to mention, the whole thing is covered in these, you know, and all the nub marks and stuff. It is an older kit, so that is something you're going to run into. Moving on, we then have the torso right here. It is a ball joint at the base of the crotch, and then another ball joint inside there, so you get all of the motion you would want up inside there. Rocks around, though you got to be careful because they are all just pegs, but mine are decently loose, so I can actually pose them around. That's going to be something that will vary because, you know, sometimes the polycaps in there tend to be pretty tight and makes it impossible to move those parts of the body, so just be mindful when you have your own personal copy. At the legs, you do have the side skirts, which you can split, and they kick up about that far. Maybe if you pose the skirt, yeah, you can get a little bit more, so about that far. Then it's got a thigh swivel, goes out about that far, double jointed knee bend, and this time it's actually a double joint and not a weird kind of half single joint, half double joint thing like the elbows. Then at the ankles, you've got a hinge joint up in there, followed up by a ball joint at the base, so it can rock, go forward, back, pivot about that deep. So yeah, basic but good range of articulation. The side skirt fell off. That's great. Just pop that back in there. So yeah, now that we speed ran through the articulation, we can now move on to his accessories, because those are the parts that, well, kind of allow you to do stuff with the posing. You know, you can't pose the thing if you don't have anything for it to do. When it comes to the O Gundam, you have your basic set of accessories: a shield and a little beam rifle. Though it is a little more of like a beam pistol, they do fit into the arms pretty easily. For the shield, there's this little handle right here. You gotta slide the hand through there like that, put it on. You can have it rotated in different directions as well. Like if you rotate the wrist, you can have it face forward like you saw in the opening and stuff. And of course this spins around and hinges and stuff like that. And then the beam rifle slash pistol thing just slides right into the hand. though it is a pretty loose grip. He does not got the tightest grip on that thing, so it's definitely something where kind of have him in the, you kind of have to figure out your pose and then put the beam rifle in his hand later, kind of thing, unless you want to just swap the hands out entirely to have a much tighter grip for that beam rifle with something else. So yep, as you can see, basic stuff. You do of course have the beam saber on the back. The little handle here is on a ball joint, and of course this just pops off per normal. You then just slide a beam saber effect part, which is included on most high grade Gundams, stick it in there, and now if we remove the beam rifle, he now has the beam saber. And it's your standard pink beam saber. It's very glossy, pretty shiny, bad num marks on the tips because those are hard to remove. And yeah, so that's it when it comes to his overall accessories. The last final bit we need to talk about is any of the included stickers. You mainly just get stickers for 2 spots on the kit. You get a set of stickers for the eyes, and then a black sticker for the inside of the GN condenser on the torso. So pretty basic assessment of stickers, just 2, leaving things such as these head cameras appear on the top of the head to be painted in yourself, which is what I did, as well as the black air vent things for the GN drive on the back to be filled in yourself again. So it is something to just kind of pay attention to and paint it up how you personally feel. That's one of the big fun things of Gundam, is that we can all paint them however we please. The final accessory to get into is the little alternate backpack piece. This is the one that the pilot of the O Gundam had before Reborn's Allmark took it over in the finale. So you have these switch out to either be the GN drive or this piece right here. So it's just an optional thing for if you want it. So alright, now that we've gone through everything, we can now go onto the size comparisons. For size comparison, here he is next to the high-grade Gundam Exia. I think this is the repair version. I don't know. I mixed and matched some parts, so I don't really recall. And of course, an entry-grade RX-782, because they kind of the same thing, kind of. I mean, clearly not, but like you get the idea. If you've seen Gundam OO, you know why it looks like the RX-782. And for the final size comparison, here he is with the other version of the O Gundam that I have in my collection. I would take him down, but he's like hung up in a very elaborate fashion. Don't want to bother with it, but as you can see, there's quite a distinct, spun him around. There's quite a distinct difference between them. The color is different. This one's more of a gray, where this is pure white. There's darker gray instead of red and blue. The only thing is these, drop the gun. These parts right here had to be fully painted, including that V-fin, on the first version of the O Gundam. And of course, it has a separate GN drive to allow for these particle wings. So yeah, same kit, just 2 different colors, and for 2 different display purposes, but still really good. Highly recommend either one of them. And there you guys have it. That was my video review on the high-grade Gundam OO O Gundam. It's a really solid kit. For a very cheap, very quick, and very basic high-grade, it is a really fun model kit. I highly recommend it if you're wanting to do some kind of like battle damage, or even just like a smaller paint deco. This is definitely a really good kit to do. Or if you're just wanting a kind of RX-782 looking model kit, but it has like just a little more sharper, a little more sleeker, that isn't something like the Strike Gundam or the Age 1, this is definitely one to pick up. It's a really fun model kit. I like it decently a bit more than the gray one. I would say the gray one is better for like a Gundam OO collection, since it is a very significant variation of the O Gundam to the actual story of the anime. But this one isn't bad, and if you want to have that final battle for your display on your shelf, this is definitely one to have. So there you guys have it. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, as well as check out my social medias in the description down below. And until next time, you guys, peace.